Welcome back to the WAC basketball preview presented by Hercules Tires. I'm Rachel Vigil. We'll be taking a look at Tarleton men's and women's basketball during this hour. We're now joined by head coach for men's basketball, Billy Gillispie, as well as guards from Tarleton men's basketball, Isaiah Range and Shakur Daniel. Gentlemen, how are we today?
Doing good.
Happy to hear. Coach, it looks like you are on mute right now.
The bottom left.
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. And Coach, I actually want to start with you. You're back in the WAC. In 2004, you were the WAC Coach of the Year with UTEP. What's been the major difference that you've noticed between the WAC back then and the WAC now?
Yeah, it's good to be back. The time really does fly, but it was a great basketball league then, and they're building the WAC back. It's always been one of the most respected and recognizable leagues, and as the leadership continues to move and grow this league back, it's going to be back on the national front in no time at all. There's some very, very good teams. There's some great cities. Again, with the great tradition of the WAC, there's nowhere to go but up, and it's going to be great to be a part of.
Coach, what's the non-conference slate looking like?
It's too tough. We have games going to Gonzaga. I guess they'll be number one in the preseason. Going to Texas A&M, going to Kansas, going to Pepperdine, going to Abilene Christian, and I'm leaving one out. And then we're still continuing to work. We've had our schedule finished about 3 times to have the rug pulled out from underneath our feet. And so hopefully in the next few days we'll have it knocked out. But it's going to be an extremely difficult schedule. That's what we want to play. That's what Tarleton fans deserve. That's what these players came here for. They want to play against the best in the country. That's how we're going to try to build our program as we transition from Division II to Division I.
Shakur, Coach mentions 3 tough teams right there. Which team are you looking forward to playing most?
3. But the most, I would probably say Kansas. I'm looking forward to that game a lot. I think it's going to be a fun game to be a part of. And it's just going to be 2 great teams battling out the whole time. So I'm looking forward to that game.
Isaiah, what about for you?
I'm looking forward to all the games, but mostly Gonzaga. They have a pretty good team, and I'm ready to play against some good competition. I also have a friend who goes there, so that'll be good to bump heads against him.
And Shakur, you shot 75% last year from behind the arc. What makes you so efficient at shooting threes?
Just taking smart threes, taking it when it's there, and not rushing anything. Just playing the game, and then it comes to you. I feel like just doing whatever you have to do to help your team win is the best thing you can do. So I think
and Isaiah, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
Isaiah, last year you started all 30 games as a true freshman. What was the biggest lesson that you took away from that year?
I think I just learned how to play within the system, not force a lot of shots, not rush a lot of things, just play within the offense. And I looked up to a lot of the older guys as well, so it helped me with my play.
Coach, there is no positions listed on the roster. What's the reason behind that?
I always believe the players determine what position they play, and I've never been the kind of coach that kind of puts them in a box. And I've seen like 6th and 7th grade football players come in and you say, hey, what position do you play? And they say, I'm a right guard. And they never change. And for their entire life, they start thinking like a right guard, which is a great position, I guess. But I like multidimensional players, and the players determine where they play. It's not the coaches. You figure out what their skill set is and how it fits within the system. And they determine the position that they play.
Isaiah, with that being said, where do you feel like you're most efficient?
I feel like I'm most efficient at like the 3 or the 4. I can dribble the ball well, but I can also post up, smaller guards in the post and knock down shots and feed the post as well.
Shakur, same question to you. Where do you feel like you're most efficient?
3. I also like to play the 4 and 5. Playing at Ranger last year with Coach G, which I played the 4 and the 5. I got experience playing that position and feeling comfortable with it at the same time. So, like you said, just being multi-dimensional and playing every position to help your team win.
You mentioned playing with Coach G at Ranger College. You then followed him down to Tarleton. What makes you believe in his program so much?
He's going to test you mentally, and he's just going to get the best out of you every single day. And who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Who wouldn't want to be pushed to be the best version they can every single day? So I really thought about that as a person. And off the court, he's going to help you grow as an individual. So those were just three important things that I always kept in the back of my head. So I came down to Tarleton.
Coach, now for you, Midnight Madness going on tomorrow night. What will the team be doing?
We're going to show up and do whatever they ask us to do, and hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun. The tradition here at Tarleton is fantastic. Coach Reisman and Chris Reisman have been coaching the team for the last 32 years, had tremendous success. Tarleton, I mean, it's an unbelievable place. It's a great campus. It's a great school. The city of Stephenville loves basketball. The university embraces basketball. It's part of the Texas A&M system. It's a great time to be here. There's so much excitement by the fans and the student body. And so they've got a great tradition with Midnight Madness. They do it on a yearly basis. And I think that it's going to be an exciting time for us. So it'll be most of our team's first. We've got 10 new guys. So it'll be most of our first time, but we're excited about seeing what's going to happen tonight.
Isaiah, I was taking a look at your Twitter earlier, and I noticed a certain hashtag that was Monstar Gang. What's the idea behind this?
It's a little thing that me and my friends came up with in high school, you know, just to play like a monster, you know, just attack and, just take over. And so, yeah, that's all it is.
Well, on that note, I'm going to toss it over to Chris Thompson for media questions.
Thank you. We will start with Kyle McDonald.
Billy, this is Kyle McDonald, WAC Hoops Digest. I'm sorry I never called you back. I figured I was going to be on this call with you to ask you a few questions. You talked about having 10 new players, but a lot of those guys have either played for you at Ranger College or, I mean, a lot of them have played for you before. So how nice is it to have that familiarity with those guys that have played for you already, that you kind of know what you're getting with them?
You're not the only person that didn't come back, Kyle, so don't worry about that. But giving you a hard time. But no, it does give you great comfort as a coach. I think things change all the time because every single team is different. No matter if you played for someone or if you coach someone, every single team changes with new personalities that you're blending in. So we have 5 guys that play for us at Ranger. And so I do believe it's helped in the transition to get a bunch of things going a little bit more quickly than they probably would. I believe it helps the other players that did not play for us and being able to go to those guys that did and say, hey, what's going on here? How do we do this? Blah, blah, blah. And these guys have been tremendous leaders in that respect and helping all their teammates try to make the adjustment as we go to Division I.
Another question from Kyle.
Isaiah, I have to ask you, I don't know if you expected a coaching change when you got to Tarleton. What did Coach Gillispie, what did he pitch to you to keep you there instead of, how some players transfer when there's a coaching change?
Well, I didn't expect a coaching change at all, actually, but I heard a lot about Coach Gillispie from a lot of people back home, and I heard that he was a great coach. And so, I talked to Coach Gillispie, and we talked for, a good time. And he told me that, he's gonna make me the best player that I can be. And so that's what I want to be, the best player that I can be. And so that's why I chose to stick it out and stay here at Tarleton.
Michael Navarrete.
Yeah, Shakur, Coach Gillispie just kind of touched on it a little bit, but you're one of the players that came over with Coach G. And what's it been like helping those other guys kind of learn his system and teach how his style of play is?
I think it's been fun just knowing that I know what he expects as a coach and what he wants us to do as a team and how he wants us to perform. I just tell the guys this is what he wants and we got to do what he has to do or what he wants us to do because it works. It helps us win. I've been through it at Rangers, so just instilling that mindset in everyone on the team, just getting us all to buy in and work as one. It's been a fun process.
Kyle?
Coach, I have to ask you about this. Erica Downey donated a kidney for you. Was she a big reason how you ended up at Tarleton State? Was that I think I remember the press conference and she had mentioned that was part of the reason you were there.
Well, I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for Erica. Probably, who knows what would happen in life, but she's an angel for us, so I had kidney failure, and she came along, and by the grace of God, gave me a kidney. It allowed me to have a healthy, normal life, and been very, very fortunate in that regard. And so, who knows what happens on a daily basis, but she's become a fantastic friend, and not just because she gave me a kidney, I think we try to give back as well. So she's a tremendous person. She not only gave me a kidney, but I think because of the story that of her gracious gift, I think that there was quite a bit of attention brought to it, and deservedly so. And I really do believe that she's inspired other people to become donors. So it's just amazing to me how many people reach out to me and to her and say, hey, we're going through this process, and we've read that story, and we want to have the same kind of story, the same kind of result. A lady that I didn't know just had a liver transplant yesterday morning, and on Monday morning, and we've gotten to know her just because of that story. And so Erica not only helped me, but she's inspired a ton of other people.
This question is kind of for all three of you. You can chime in. I don't know if it's fully confirmed yet, so you may not be able to talk about this one. Playing at Gonzaga, I was told yesterday, I believe, that you guys are at Kansas as well and at Texas A&M. I mean, what? I know that there's a mindset of not being afraid to play anybody, but I mean, geez, first year Division I, and you're playing two of the top 5 teams in the nation, and Texas A&M will probably be a top 10, top 15 team. So how do you all feel about that non-conference, at least those 3 games in your non-conference slate?
I'll let those guys talk about it first, and I'll add to it after they get done. You guys want to say something about it? Go ahead.
I feel like we were D1 for a reason. We want to compete against the best all the time, and it's just going to push us to be even better as players and as a team, and help us with our conference play as well. And I feel like playing those teams is what we want. We're all competitors. We all play the game to compete against each other. And I mean, who knows? I think our team is just as good as them. We just got to show the world. We just got to prove it. And that's how I feel about playing those top teams.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Just to piggyback off of Shaq, we play tough. I feel like a lot of us are competitors. We want to win, and so going into these games, coming in with the mindset to win, we're not going in to lose. So we're not scared of competition. We're not afraid of the big names and stuff like that. We're just hoopers that want to play and compete and win.
Yeah, I mean, Tarleton's won 693 games in the last 32 years. They're used to winning, and they're used to playing against the absolute best in the particular division that they're in. And we're moving up to Division I, and we're fortunate to be able to play those kind of teams. It'll be an honor. We have the utmost respect for them. We know it's a big challenge, but we're gonna gauge ourselves against the absolute best. The fans here deserve those kind of games as we grow our program into going through the transition period, and our athletic director, Coach Reisman, likes that, and our president likes it, and again, we have unbelievable respect for them. But we'll be taught to we'll respect everyone, fear no one, and just try to learn from the good things, learn from the bad things as we move forward with the program. We have a lot of good teams that you didn't mention on our schedule as we completed. Our conference schedule is going to be very difficult, and there's some of the better teams in the country in our conference. And so if you play too light in a non-conference, you're not going to be ready to play in the WAC as it continues to grow.
A question for Isaiah. You're in a bit of a unique situation where you came to Tarleton ready to play Division II. Now you find yourself suiting up as a Division I player under a legendary coach. What's the last year been like on campus since Tarleton announced their move to the WAC and D1? And what does it feel like to be one of the players that's leading the school into that new era?
It's a great feeling, coming in with the mindset to be a Division II player, but I feel as if I was a Division I player. So just with God being able to bless me to come here and put me in a position to reach my goal of being a Division I player, it was just a blessing in disguise. But the atmosphere around the campus has been great. You know, everybody's been excited about us moving up to D1, and so it's just a good, a great environment out here. And you know, with the team we have, I feel like we are all ready to play and all ready to go out to war. And with Coach Gillispie leading us out there, you know, I feel like we can do anything. So, yeah.
All right, Kyle.
Billy, you, like we talked about, you're going to Texas A&M to play this year. You really turned that program around. I mean, what was it? They had one winning season the previous 11 years before you got there. How will that be for you to kind of return to a school that you've coached at and that you really put on the map, to be honest?
Well, we had a great time there. It's a great school, and you know, Tarleton's part of the Texas A&M system, and they treat us very well and make it one of the best universities anywhere here at Tarleton. And so it'll be an emotional day, I'm sure. I've always loved that university. They did a lot of things for me, and I think that we provided quite a bit of excitement for them as well. You know, more so than that, even my former assistant, Buzz Williams, has done a tremendous job as a head coach, and he's running the program now. It'll be good to see a lot of people, but when we go over there, we're going to compete. And that's what happens when you have a contest. You're going to try to go and compete. But it'll be an emotional day. But our number one goal will be over there to go over there and try to compete and represent Tarleton the best that we can.
Okay, Tarleton head coach Billy Gillispie, student athlete Shaq Daniel, Isaiah Range. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.